My eyebrows are dry. All right, we live.
Hey
Go ahead.
everybody, welcome to our live Black Coffee, Honey, and Grits. Happy Friday. Welcome back. I'm Dr. Jamesia, the nurse practitioner extraordinaire. I am also your intermittent fasting and mindset coach. And this week, we have been talking about intermittent fasting, and we're going to carry that on today. We are having just a little bit of technical difficulties. Carmel will be in and out, so don't be distracted by that, but she'll be in and out, and hopefully she'll be able to contribute to the conversation. It's going to be fairly fun. Today, we're going to be talking about the top 10 viewers' questions on intermittent fasting, and we'll probably throw in a few extra too. So it's probably going to be just a short live, but excuse me, I'm going to go over that. I have a list here. But first, this is Black Coffee, Honey, and Grits. And ladies, we are the Black Coffee, our lips drip with honey. And sometimes we got a little bit of grit. We've got sass, class, and all that class. And we welcome you to our YouTube channel, to our Facebook Live, Instagram, all the things. And we want to pass it on over to Maisha. She can introduce herself. And then when Carmel comes on, she'll introduce herself. Maisha?
Hey, everybody. I'm Maisha. I'm a little under the weather today, so just hey, and I'm gonna preserve my energy for whatever the rest of the conversation is.
So I'm just gonna jump right in. You guys know that pretty much this group, this whole group, we're fasters, we're women, we're over 50. And so we take, a couple tools. We have a couple tools in our toolbox. And my main tool is fasting and intermittent fasting. I normally do one meal a day, but oftentimes I find myself just doing 16 hours or every other day, depending on what my lifestyle is like for the week, for the month, whatever. And so, as you know, if you go to my channel, I have tons of intermittent fasting videos. I have tons of comments there. And so I pulled out some of the comments on some of the top questions that we have for fasting. And then I'll kind of turf the questions to Maisha and Carmel too, if they want to chime in. So the first one says, what initially attracted you to intermittent fasting and what benefits have you experienced as a result? And so what initially attracted me is I was looking for something to lose some weight initially. And through the pandemic, apparently I must have put on a couple more pounds because my husband at the time was like, you kind of, falling off, which wasn't true. But anyway, he mentioned it. And my cholesterol was through the roof. And so I had been trying things, and I tried fasting, and fasting was great. It was hard at first. It was not easy, but I continued on, and it has worked really, really well for me to keep my cholesterol where it needs to be. I'm not on any medicine, y'all. I don't take any medicines. I don't have any chronic diseases or anything like that. I do attribute my lifestyle to that. So, and the benefits, like I said, my weight, I really can manage my weight. I have excellent results with that. And it just works. It works even for my schedule because I'm busy. And who needs to be eating all daggone day? So that works for me. So that works. And I just feel like I am overall happier with this lifestyle. Before, y'all, I was hangry. If I didn't have food at a certain time, my blood sugar was all the way off. My insulin levels were all the way off, and I just was a mess. So I was like that commercial y'all see with Snickers when you don't Snickers bar. So I was like that, but that has been a benefit. I want to. I've always had decent skin, but I do think that fasting helps with that. My inflammation, my pain, my joints, that has been an amazing benefit. And so I know for you, Maisha, you come from a fasting family. So what have you noticed? I know you've continued it on from your family. What benefits do you notice from it?
um, Health benefits for sure. Times like now when I'm sick, I'll definitely eat a little less. I mean, I'll be making myself vegetable soup today.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but it's, yeah, the health benefits I think are the really the biggest thing with fasting. It's so interesting. My father to this day still continues. The last time I went to visit, you know, he was telling me Wednesdays is all fruit for him,
Oh,
and
nice.
he still generally eats one meal a day,
Mm,
and he's 75.
okay.
So yeah,
And how's his mobility?
he's moving. I mean, he's older. He's, you know, the body does
What's about
start to
it?
start to do what it do. But no, he gets around by himself. Dude walks around in a North Face with a little tiny backpack on. You know, he doesn't wear any like bulky winter coats or anything like that. He's got a cane that he uses. He does have some health issues.
Mm-hmm.
But overall, you know, he does his best to take care of himself with the fast. Some of his food choices I'd be looking at like, we didn't grow up eating this. What is this? What is this in the refrigerator? But he's on a fixed income, and one thing to be aware of with elderly is that when you're on a very fixed income, your food choices are they just, you have to be able to shop within your budget, and that doesn't allow for the same choices that it might if you have a different stream of income. So there's that. But for me, it's always the health benefits. As whenever I start to feel myself getting sick or something, it's like, okay, you know, maybe I need to drop down to, you know, just the liquids to allow my body space. I am also not on any medications or anything like that, and I plan to keep it that way. If a doctor ever said, you know, we need to be on medication, I'd be like, hold that thought.
Right. Absolutely.
Let me go and see the, you know, because there's a natural way for me to do this. Because once you get on one,
Mm-hmm.
all of a sudden you're on like two more to combat what the one did after like 2 years. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. So fasting, even if people fast once a week, just to give your body a break from eating and let it reset itself, I
Mm-hmm.
recommend just 24 hours of
Mm-hmm.
fasting. Will add so many years to
Mm-hmm.
people's lives.
Absolutely. And I've seen longevity studies on that, y'all. Let me tell you, it is just amazing. I love it. What about you, Carmel? Are you able to speak?
I hope you can hear me.
We
Yay! You can. Looking cute today. Looking cute
you
today.
opened your door, stopped, parked.
Yes, yes. Because listen, the phone wasn't letting me be great, but it's I know it's the connection out here, but yeah, I do believe in intermittent fasting. Now I practice the 16-8. Did
Mm-hmm.
I get my math right? Okay.
Yeah.
And I got to tell you, I didn't do it for any other reason. A lot of the things I try to so I can report back to my clients, and that's exactly what I do with the intermittent fasting. I said, intermittent what? And I said, oh, okay, let's see what happens. And I got to tell you, Dr. J, you said nobody should be eating all day long, and it's so true. And I found myself once I gave myself this cutoff. At the time, my cutoff was 7 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember going into the refrigerator. It was like 7:10. I just went into the refrigerator and I saw something and I just reached for it just to put it in my mouth. I wasn't craving anything. I wasn't hungry. I didn't go in the refrigerator with intention to put something in my mouth, but just because it was there, I was just like, oh. And I said, oh, wow, I do this often. Like, for no other reason but because it's there, when you just eat something because it's there. And I was definitely that person. So that made me more aware of what I was putting in my mouth, when I was putting it in my mouth, and why I was putting it in my mouth. Was I hungry? Was I craving something? Is it just there? And so, but what I've come to learn about intermittent fasting is really what kept me here. The fact that our organs literally rest and recovers and repairs our
Mm-hmm.
organs, our brains, um, our memories are solidified at night when we sleep. And if our body is so busy, or our digestive system is so busy digesting the foods that we just ate right before bed, it can't do those things, or it
Mm-hmm.
can't function the way it's supposed to function. So
Mm-hmm.
that part right there, I was like, oh, you mean this stuff happening in my body as I sleep that I will impede if I eat either too close to bedtime, or if if I'm just constantly eating around the clock.
Mm-hmm.
So I stopped that, and then that's when I come to find out a few more things. I took a dive into that rabbit hole, went down that rabbit hole. I found out a few things when it comes to eating and fasting, and the fact that hangry is not normal, and hangry is not healthy. If you're hangry, there's something going on, just like what you said, Dr. Jamesia, your blood sugar levels and your insulin levels, and that definitely needs to be kept in check. Like, we should not be hangry. Hungry is something, but I feel like in this world that we live in, we never give ourselves a chance to even get hungry.
Yep.
Truth is like us Americans, because food is abundant around us. We never have to feel hungry. We eat because, when I applied for this job, the boss said 12 o'clock lunch. And then my family said, like, we eat on a schedule, not because our bodies are hungry and it's right. And so I feel like fasting is big, because fasting also plays to the intuitive part of ourselves that knows we're hungry and knows. And so I am definitely a proponent for intermittent fasting. I found that I was able to keep my weight up as well. I started fasting. I might have even lost weight. I wasn't paying attention to that because that's not what my goal was. I just wanted to put back to my clients. And that part about not eating and during a certain window was what was very attractive to my clients, because that means that.
Oh no! And she was eating so good. She was on fire, but we're gonna move on, and hopefully she can come back. But the next question is, hold on. Oh, I have a little visitor that just came in. So anyway, the next one is, have you noticed any changes in your energy level or mental clarity since starting intermittent fasting? And of course, you guys have heard me say that. Yes, I have. I have better mental clarity, although I still feel like my hormones, because they're up and down, because I'm in perimenopause, I still have some fogginess. But when I'm very conscious of how long I'm fasting, I can tell that I'm better with it, if that makes sense. So it has helped me with that. Because before I was like, oh my God, I couldn't remember anything. I couldn't get the words out the way I wanted to get them out, nothing. So yes, I've noticed that since I've started fasting, and my energy level is amazing. I have so much energy with fasting. I can do so many things while I'm fasting. Now, when I find that my energy is starting to plummet, then I know I'm fasting too long and I need to eat. So my energy levels have been, affected. What about you, Maisha? Anything there?
Yeah, I don't know that I have anything there, because I didn't start like intermittent fasting to do anything. It was just the way I ate. Yeah, I don't like breakfast. I've never really liked breakfast. So I usually ended up eating around 10, 11 o'clock anyway. I notice when I eat too late, that I notice, and I know, like I know if I eat something at 9 or 10 o'clock, I know exactly, but I'm like, dag, I'm hungry. I know when
9 or 10 in the morning or at night?
At night.
Okay.
So if I eat too late, I know, like when I wake up the next morning, I wake up foggy. I wake up foggy and exhausted if I eat after 9 o'clock. It doesn't mean it doesn't happen, because I'm not a perfect human being, but I'm aware that when I wake up the next day and I can feel like almost like congestion in my body, it's because my body was too busy trying to do too many things at night, but I'm very aware of this, so I try not to eat that late. That's what I do notice, because I didn't start intermittent fasting at a specific time for a specific reason. I know, but what I do notice is what happens if I eat at certain times. I know that's not very healthy. So I can imagine it's probably not healthy for most people. And there's a whole thing in Chinese medicine about our organs and the hours that they need to rest and why we shouldn't eat past a certain time anyway, so that our liver and our kidneys, like each organ starts to correct itself at a certain time. And I know, like, if I do this, I'm like, dang, my liver's gonna feel that. So I just try not to eat after 9.
Yeah. And go on, Carmel, while you can talk.
Oh, okay. While I can talk, right? Thank you for that. And also I was wearing, I tracked my sleep, and I also was wearing a continuous glucose monitor at one time. And I noticed when I eat too close to bedtime, my blood sugar continues to rise as I'm sleeping. And my continuous glucose monitor would start ringing and further interrupt my sleep. But it just goes to show you there are things happening in our bodies that, just like what Maisha was saying, the organs, we don't even know. We don't even realize. And Maisha, to your point, if somebody wakes up every morning feeling foggy, they're going to think that's the norm, right? So you have this intuitiveness about you where you realize, and you could connect the dots and put 2 and 2 together. And most people won't put 2 and 2 together and connect the dots. They'll think that, oh, that's my norm. I wake up foggy, I need my cup of coffee, and that'll correct everything, right? And that'll get me alert. Or I need my muffin, and that'll give me that sugar energy boost that I think that I need. And so that's another thing. When I tell people when they start to change their style, their lifestyles or habits, to really start paying attention to how you feel, because oftentimes we won't make the connection unless we're consciously and intentionally making the difference. So energy levels for sure, right? And the fact that Maisha knows that she wakes up feeling better and clearer and able to move and go, that's huge. That's huge. So I agree with that.
Yeah. Oh, I love it. I'm glad you were able to speak. So the next question is, how do you handle social situations or events that involve food while you're fasting? That's a great question because listen, at first, when I first started fasting and I had to go to an event, failed. I couldn't do it. I was like, ooh, first of all, the way my mind works is like, huh, I don't get to have that eclair on the regular. Like, that's a free eclair. I'm going to eat that. Or, ooh, that strawberry cheesecake. So I failed. And that was the biggest thing that caused me to fail, was social events. And my friends were like offended about, hold on one second. They
I was gonna say that's the doggy in the background.
Yeah, I know. So when I was failing from my friends, like getting offended that I wasn't eating, like, why aren't you eating? Like this is what we do. We eat together. So what about you guys? Have you, but once I learned to just say, you know what? I'm fasting. I didn't say I'm fasting because I'm intermittent fasting. I said I'm fasting, and they automatically thought it was for religious purposes. So they left me alone. What about you guys?
Well, I can say that not too long ago, my running club got together for a pre-race. And like, I'm gonna be in bed a few hours. I'm not eating. So I went, and as I'm sitting there, and I decided I wasn't going to drink anything. I had water, and I got, and everybody was like, Carmel, aren't you eating? Like, no, I'm good. First, I didn't explain anything. I was there for the social aspect of it. And we get together socially, there's always food involved, right? As Americans, as human beings, like, there's always food involved. But I sat there, I was like, well, having real conversations with people, but everybody wanted to put food in my face. And I was like, no, I'm okay. And they're like, eating a salad, I'm not eating. I can get a salad. Like, thank you, but I can do that too. No, what about bread? Like, everybody was trying to feed. I kept saying, no, thank you. Finally, I said, no, I'm going to bed in a couple hours. When I eat too much before, I don't. And then everybody started leaving me alone. But it does get awkward. And I feel like it gets awkward for the other people too. Dr. Jamisa, you mentioned that, you know, your friends would be like almost offended. And I think my group isn't offended. They were just kind of like, well, I'm stuffing my face with all of this and just sitting here having conversations. I'm not implying that they all felt about it. At that point, I felt with it. Everybody else was.
We apologize, you guys. Carmela's just in a bad area. She's upstate New York. She's trying to hang in there, but I am loving her comments today.
I know.
Yeah,
so this is good conversation.
So good. But okay, so I'm gonna go on. What about you? You know, I know you probably like whatever, y'all. I ain't eating.
That's why you didn't
No,
think
no.
you're not eating? No, okay. Don't nobody ask me no questions. No.
Okay.
And, one time I specifically on purpose made people uncomfortable with my fasting, but that I don't do that, y'all. But no, I don't have any issues with. Now I don't have that issue.
Listen, I'm telling you, I didn't think I would have that issue. I didn't think I would, but I had never really stuck to it. I had never stuck to my guns. And let me tell you, that was one of the hardest things. That was the thing that kept me from being successful the first few times that I tried intermittent fasting. And once people began to understand and know what I was doing and how I was trying to help other people and coaching and all of that, people just leave me alone. And now they're just like, how in the world are you that strong? How are you able to do it? And after a while, it's just nothing to it, really. But okay, here's the next question. I'm glad you're back, Carmel. I don't know if you can talk, but here's the next question, y'all. How has intermittent fasting affected your relationship with food? And if so, or has intermittent fasting affected your relationship with food? If so, how? I'm going to say it has. It has. However, I have a very intimate relationship with food. It's my friend, and I love it. We you know, we roll. We have a good relationship. However, like I said, it doesn't control me anymore. It used to, but it doesn't control me anymore. So I would say I'm good.
Well, hopefully Carmel can come back to answer that question. Yeah, I'm pretty similarly. I have a pretty good relationship with food. I mean, food is like any other relationship. We get along well. Sometimes, we don't treat each other properly. I'm aware. There's a conversation that's had, emotional intelligence. We come to some conclusions, and then we carry on. So there are times when, I haven't actually done this in a while. But there'll be times when when was the last time I ate donuts? The last time I ate donuts is like a month ago or so. And I don't remember the last time before that. Was a while. But, it's like I'll eat it and then I'll be like, no. Like I don't get excited. It's like, no. Like that was very emotional. There was no desire whatsoever there for that particular food. And so it just really helps me to again, kind of like Carmel was saying, if I think I want to eat something, and I don't make it like a whole thing, but if I know I'm not hungry and I want to eat something, I'll ask myself, what's really happening here? Am I actually hungry, or is there something I'm trying to avoid? That's my relationship is it's all right with food. It's all right.
That's a good question, though. I don't know that I've gotten to that or done that, but that is a good question that people might want to use. So you're just not mindlessly eating, right?
Yeah, I mean, because that's the thing. I mean, people and eating to me is no different than mindlessly scrolling, than mindlessly watching TV. It's not the thing. It's the why. So I don't put food over here as, ooh, you're mindlessly eating. We need to look at that. But somebody over here is mindlessly scrolling. Like, okay, yeah, no. To me, it's all the same. Like, what's happening underneath the mindless whatever, whatever it is.
Yeah. I get it. I ain't that deep, y'all. I just feel like. All right. So, okay, here's the next thing. Are there any specific challenges or obstacles you've encountered while practicing intermittent fasting, and how have you overcome them? I think that the main thing is socializing with food, and pretty much just learning to socialize and still have the food there and still be okay. That's one of the main things. And I've overcome that. So after a while, it's just the other person's issue and they just have to deal with it. And then eventually, the craziest thing, guys, eventually that person will come to me and want to be taught, coached, or trained. So it's just interesting. So any challenges for y'all or obstacles?
Let Carmel go while she's still here.
Carmel, can you talk?
I think she froze again. There you go.
You can talk, Mama. Oh, wait, we can hear you a little bit.
Oh, okay. No real obstacles, except when I feel like, oh, I want to eat. It's after feeding time, but nothing really. That's just me controlling a craving or controlling whatever's appetizing in front of me. But other than that, my body's used to it now, Dr. Jamesia, just like your body, how you practice intermittent fasting. My body just knows. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and sometimes when I have someone who is pretty much trying to get their mind and their body together on one accord, and they're fighting, I just want to eat. Again, the same things that we talked about on Monday, I try to get them to practice, to try, so that they can start training their body for longer fast. So, all right.
It is very much a practice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. What advice would you give to someone who is considering trying intermittent fasting for the first time? The advice that I have would be to first do a trial period and see how long you can go in the morning without eating your first bite of anything. Just see how you feel and look at the time and say, okay, I'm going to try that for the first week. I'm going to try to go until 9:30 in the morning. I'm going to try to go until 10, and then just start moving it hour by hour and see how you feel. But just stick with it and see if that's something you want to continue with, and see how your body responds. Even if you're doing this for weight loss, even when the scale doesn't show you the benefits or what you think you want to see, try on those jeans that are just extremely too tight. No, you shouldn't be wearing them, but try them on and see how your body feels, because sometimes you'll notice it in those jeans or a dress before you see it on the scale. So, anybody else have anything to add to that?
No, that's what I would have said too. Either that or go the opposite end and see if you can stop eating at a certain time and see how it feel right in the evening, and just see how it feels there. But either way, you just play around with it. Don't make it so serious. Just play around with it and see how you feel.
And give yourself some grace. If you don't make it, you don't make it. Just try it again the next day. Or flip it like Maisha said. Okay, well, I ate before, and let's see if I can stop eating at 6 instead of 7. So, all right. Looks like Carmel, you're frozen. So I'm gonna go on to the next question. All right. How has intermittent fasting impacted your overall health, including factors like weight management, blood sugar levels, and or cholesterol? I think we touched on that. I feel like it has been amazing. I feel like it has very much benefited me. My weight, I can really control my weight. Before I couldn't. I was just like a little yo-yo. But my cholesterol is great. I feel healthy. I feel great. So I think it's been good for me. So it's been a overall benefit for me. I have not found a downfall at all.
I can't think of one. Weight management hasn't really been it's not an issue.
Well, I'm super vain.
Huh?
I'm vain.
Oh yeah, weight management is not it's just Like there was one time when I went up to like 217 or whatever. That was over the pandemic. And then I just came back down again. I just came back down again. My body has its own set point. Like I just started going to the gym again and stepped on a scale and it was like, oh, well, that's okay. The pound just like, it's like my body's like, yeah, you're moving. So I don't do it for weight management. I've hovered around the same weight for the past 20 years.
And
But
that's wonderful because you're over 50. That's amazing.
yeah, I've been in the 180s. Well, now I'm in the 170s, but I've hovered in the 180s since I started doing. You know what did it? That's a whole nother conversation. This birth control put me, and I could not. And like the 180s is where I stayed. Birth control. I'm not a fan.
I'm not a fan. Well, I'm not a fan now. Back then, I was.
Well, yeah, I was like, but no, the way it kind of screwed my body. Oh no, but for the health benefits, I do see it. And what I'll say is, it's funny. I don't get sick very often. And I attribute that to the timing and the way that I eat for sure. It's like it's rare that I even have a thing. I'm about to go make my tea, but it's the health benefits, I think, for me. Yeah.
Awesome. All right. Number 9. Have you noticed any differences in your body composition or muscle tone since incorporating intermittent fasting into your lifestyle? Yes, I have. I've noticed that I think my body composition is just at the point where it kind of just stays the same. And I haven't noticed much shift. And when I do, I just tighten up my schedule. So, and my muscle tone isn't as great, but that has nothing to do with my fasting. It has to do with me weight training and doing strength training. And that's just something that I'm more of a cardio girl, but I have incorporated weights, last couple of years. So that's, to me, I haven't noticed anything as far as fasting.
No, that fasting for me does nothing for my, well, I have to be very careful with fasting, and everyone should. Too much fasting, you'll lose muscle. So there is a way to balance it out. And if you're getting older and you are doing some type of fasting, it is really important to incorporate weights. My body composition has shifted over the years because we lose muscle as we get older, which is why I was like, I need to get back to the gym to build more muscle. Otherwise, yeah, I'll be thin, but I'll be fat. Like my body will just be fat, and I don't, that's not healthy to have. So yeah, and if I do too much fasting and lose too much weight, it takes my muscle first.
Yeah. Last question. How do you approach exercise and physical activity while fasting? Do you adjust your workouts or meal timing in any specific way? I'm going to say this. When I first tried to start fasting, I could not work out in a fasted state. It did not do well. I felt like didn't feel good. I didn't feel good until I began to I don't know what happened, y'all. I cannot say there was no exact change or date. Because I got strong with fasting, my body just kind of adjusted, and I work out in a fasted state. Not everybody can do that. You have to really listen to your body and adjust. If your body doesn't like it, if you don't feel well, adjust your workout. So I still work out. At this time now, I don't do as much cardio, even though that's my love. I still do it. I am doing Pilates more than anything, and I'm enjoying that. I'm enjoying Pilates. But when I feel like I need cardio, I just run. I mean, I just do that. But I do it in a fasted state. So I'm not telling you to do that. I'm telling you to let your body tell you what you can handle as far as that. What about you, Maisha?
And hey, Carmel's back at. So for a while, our bodies fluctuate. They go through their own rhythms. I used to be able to work out in a fasted state. Then for a while, I couldn't work out in a fasted state. I felt sick. my blood sugar levels just plummeted. It was a no-go. Now, this time around, going back to the gym, I do work out in a fasted state, and I'm perfectly fine. I'm okay. So I think it just, like Dr. Jamesia was saying, always adjust, always adjust, always adjust. For those who just throwing this in, for those who do want to do strength training and cardio, you can turn your strength training into cardio. So you don't have to feel like you have to do both. Like you don't have to go lift weights and then also get on the treadmill or the whatever. You can turn the strength training into cardio. So you cut some of your time at the gym if folks are worried about squeezing both in, because my strength training is my cardio. So that's it from me. Hey, Carmel.
Hey, Carmel, I don't know. The question is, how do you approach exercise and physical activity while fasting? Do you adjust your workouts or meal timing in any specific way?
So just like the two of you, when I first started and I was working out, it was hard. And I didn't even put 2 and 2 together at the time. I'm like, I don't know. Am I getting old? I can't keep up with my cardio workout. But now I only work out in a fasted state. I found that when I eat before exercise, it does not sit well in my body. And I'm a little bit extreme with it. I'll do like an hour of heavy lifting. I'll run 7 miles fasted. And that's fasted I'm talking at the 15th hour, I'm running 7, 8, sometimes 10 miles and not having had anything but water. But it's a progression. It's paying attention, listening, and it's hydrating.
Yes.
And it takes time and it takes practice. So yeah, I work out in a fasted state and I actually feel better. I actually feel better than when I eat.
Me too. And I feel like my workout landed better. However, you guys, if you are listening and you have not tried this, do not try this in an extreme way. You will not be able to know if you can do it until you do it, but listen to your body and have something available, protein available for you to have if you decide it and you start feeling like you can't do it. So you can have something to eat because we don't want you to.
What about, I would probably suggest have electrolytes available.
Yeah, electrolytes as well. Yeah, absolutely. But sometimes that even makes you nauseous and queasy by itself. So maybe a little something to eat, a little protein bar or something. But those are all the questions. But I did have one other one that I wanted to throw in at the last minute. And the question was, do you find it hard to fast while on vacation? So for me, when I'm on vacation, I am adjusting the whole vacation because I'm not sticking to anything. I'm not sticking to my regular regimen. When I'm fasting, my mindset is just play. However, I don't want to be so off track that when I get back to my regular real life, that I'm really like catching up from my fasting. So I'll either stop eating or start eating or work out a little bit more or whatever while I'm on vacation. So I do find it harder because of my mindset, but some people don't. So I'd love to hear from these ladies. My mindset when I'm on vacation is like, oh, it's all, hey, I'm playing. I'm not doing real life stuff. So.
Carmel, go just in case you get kicked off.
Yeah, when I'm on vacation, usually just like you, Dr. Jamesia, my time is adjusted because I'm going to bed a little bit later. I close my window a little bit later, but in the morning I'm not eating as early. Like when I'm working in the morning, I'm eating earlier as well. But if I'm still sleeping at the time I'm usually breaking my fast, I'm not eating right away. So it all gets pushed. And actually, I'm able to go back to my regular schedule quite easily when I come off of vacation or when I come off of whatever getaway I go to.
Nice.
Yeah, now I'm eating. No, yeah, no, it's not even for me. It's not even that serious at all. Like, no, we were on the cruise. I don't do breakfast. We were on the cruise. Cruise got breakfast. I'm eating breakfast. Now I'm not eating like waffles and syrup stuff. Like that's I love waffles and I love pancakes. But it like if I there's a certain point where I can't eat any more of it. Right. Because I'll start to feel it in my head. But yeah, I'm gonna have like, I know I'm gonna have a protein of some sort. I know I'm gonna have my fruit, you know, I'm gonna do that. And then I'm gonna eat. But I'm also a grazer. So I don't eat meals like that. I eat very small things, probably every 2 to 3 hours or so. Or I'll eat I'll eat 2 very large meals and that'll be the end of it. So when I don't pay attention, if I don't vacation a lot, but we went on a cruise, I'm not paying attention. I'm going to eat what I want to eat, when I want to eat it, how I want to eat it. And I'm just going to enjoy myself. And that's that.
Well, the reason why I pay attention is because I feel it. If I have not given myself enough hours, my body feels heavy. I feel bloated. So I pay attention because I don't want to be on vacation feeling bloated. That's not sexy. So I pay attention personally.
Yeah, no, not at all.
Well, all right, ladies, that's all the questions that I have. I didn't get anything additional. I enjoyed this conversation today, y'all. I appreciate you being here. And that's really all that I have. Did you guys have anything else you want to discuss or throw in at the last minute?
No, I'm good. Just come on back Monday. We're gonna recap the
DNC.
Just the DNC, the RNC, the political landscape.
Oh, I love it. Oh,
so
yeah.
Go catch up on some clips from both. If you need to. Y'all don't got to watch all the hours, but
y'all, I'm excited for this next week coming because I was sitting in front of the TV like a little crackhead. But anyway, all right, y'all, this was great. I am Dr. Jamesia, and we're signing off, y'all. We will see y'all on Monday. Take care. Have a great weekend. Bye.